Hey everyone, it's Ryder from Skip. I hope you're doing well. It's Thursday, June 17th. Important video today. New news from the SBA on the timing we can expect for EIDL loan increases, and a push from the SBA for more people to apply for the $10,000 Targeted EIDL Grants and the $5,000 Supplemental EIDL Grants. That's big news. The SBA wants people to apply. So I'm going to talk about the latest data, pull up a few emails today, and this poll we did 2 days ago asking people, do you think Congress should change the low-income community eligibility criteria? Over 4,000 replies. At the end, I'm going to talk about new job opportunities. If you want part-time earnings or side hustle earnings, I will mention what you can do at the end. And of course, we have new grants on the Skip app. Be sure to watch until the end. Thanks so much for subscribing and hitting the like button. It really helps us grow and reach more people. We want as many people as possible to have this information. So do us a favor, hit subscribe, like this video, and we'd love to hear what else you want to see in the comments. Speaking of comments, I'll start here. We asked this 2 days ago, do you think Congress should change the low-income community eligibility criteria for the 10K and 5K EIDL grants? This is basically free money that is going out, and the SBA still has around $30 billion to give out. This funding was approved in December of last year. So 87% of you say yes, they should change, 13% say no. I'm just going to read a few comments. Mississauga 3 says yes, all small business owners need help, not just the ones located in low-income community. Besides, they are supposed to give originally 10K to all small businesses regardless of credit, location, and size, as per the CARES Act. That's true, and we continued to ask the SBA about that provision in the CARES Act last year, 10K per business. Isabel Guzman, the new head of the SBA, said she disagrees with that 1K per employee policy. The question is, will the SBA change it? They can go back and say, okay, we've given out around 5 million EIDL grants last year. Probably 90% did not receive the full 10K then. That means they had less than 10 employees, so they got 9K through 1K. They could go back and top people up, regardless of the targeted EIDL provisions, low-income community revenue loss, and fewer than 300 employees. They could basically go back and say, look, we're going to top you up. We have money available. But the problem is the money the SBA has right now for EIDL grants is tied to targeted EIDL community. Miguel Hernandez said Congress should ask the richest corporations that didn't need the money to return it. Dan says give the money to the business that truly need it and stop the BS games. Sherry says, well, this has been going on long enough. All businesses were affected, small and large. SBA needs to give all of us help, which includes the targeted supplemental, which so many are still waiting for. That's the good news I'm going to talk about in a minute. Jarman says where the business is located shouldn't matter if the need for help is there. People show their losses anyway, plus not every business is run from the office. Actually, I imagine most aren't. I agree with that. It should be based on need, especially when you look at the amount of funding that is available. There's all this money just sitting there. Millions of you watching these videos are waiting for your chance to get some of that money. It's just sitting there, and the SBA at the same time is having a tough time getting out that money, finding businesses that qualify. So that's why they opened it up to new EIDL loan applicants a few weeks ago. I know they are working with Congress to see what they can do in terms of changing that low-income provision, but that is the biggest deal for millions of you who have not received a 10K targeted or a 5K supplemental because you live in the wrong area. Samantha says, yes, they should change because these were supposed to be grants for businesses affected by COVID-19, where someone resides has zero to do with how their business was affected by COVID-19. Seems like the middle class always gets the short end of the stick. In my opinion, that is not okay. Edit to add, I feel that low-income folks should be given priority, but then move on to the middle class and so on. So great point, Samantha. You can still do things in a certain priority order group, but at least give others a chance. Real Ebiola says, I think Congress needs to help the SBA figure out why they can't meet the 21-day timeline as outlined in the rules. There's so many amazing comments here. I could keep going on and on, but really appreciate all the discussion here. You can go to the community tab on our channel to take the poll, and if you subscribe, you will see all of our new polls. You know, we do new surveys every single week, and I know they help thousands and thousands of you. All right, I'm going to jump right into the emails. Okay, EIDL loan increases first. Most of you are still waiting. Around 90% of you still waiting for your loan increases. There's one main reason. Here is the common response you will get if you email in disaster customer service at SBA.gov. They are good, they get back to you, and it is helpful to email them. Number one, they can check the status, see if anything's missing. Number two, it does prod them along a little bit. So let me read it here quickly. Thank you for contacting the US SBA regarding assistance related to the coronavirus pandemic. Second sentence here, we are in receipt of your increased request and have requested tax documentation from the IRS. We will complete the processing of your request once the necessary information is received from the IRS. If you have additional questions, here's how to contact us. So this, again, continues to be the main problem that the SBA says it's the IRS's fault. They have contacted the IRS to get your business tax return information, and they're waiting on it. Now, the SBA has said they are working with the IRS to get this information quicker. Again, that is why so many of you have been waiting for over 2 months now. So the SBA says they are working on it. Once they get it from the IRS, expect an approval within 30 days. However, that's not the problem. The problem is on the IRS side, according to the SBA. Would love to hear if you have received a similar reason, if you've contacted them, or a different reason in the comments. Finally, this is the big one. We got this from our SBA contact, who is high up. I had to redact a few things, but basically here is what he has said. The SBA is trying to promote the EIDL loans and targeted EIDL advance to new businesses that have not applied yet. We have received over 1.6 million targeted EIDL advance applications, and as of this morning, we have funded 183,000 for 1.5 billion. So the remaining 28.5 billion for the targeted EIDL advance can accommodate a lot of new businesses, a lot of new business applicants in low-income communities. Okay, just take a look at those numbers here. 183,000, we know this was the ballpark. I think last week it was around 170 when I did the weekly data report. And we should get more data tomorrow when they publish the official report. Just think about that for a second. 1.6 million targeted EIDL applications. Around 10% of those have been funded. Now that's quite shocking looking at that too. So 90% of you who had applied for targeted have not received it yet. We did a list of all the reasons why you may not receive targeted EIDL advance funding. That's on the Skip app and blog. Hello Skip in the App Store. But the main reason, of course, is the low-income community provision. And the secondary one is they can't verify revenue with the IRS. Okay, these numbers, 1.5 billion out of 30 billion, that is only 5% of total funding. Again, this is crazy. Next week, it will have been 6 months since this 30 billion was allocated. So that's the push. There's 3 takeaways here I'm going to leave you with. Number 1, if you're still waiting for your targeted EIDL advance, you're not alone. They're processing more. Number 2, if you were denied and you believe you're eligible, consider putting in a reconsideration email to the SBA. We have tips on how to do that on our app. Number 3, if you haven't applied yet and you believe you're in a low-income community and you would meet the requirements of this, apply for an EIDL loan, and then if the SBA thinks you are eligible for the targeted EIDL advance, they will invite you to apply. So keep those 3 things in mind, and of course, subscribe to our channel because we have written letters over the past year and a half to the SBA, to Congress, when we think they should make policy changes. So every supporter we get helps with that effort. And the last thing on the EIDL increase, just note, keep this in mind, it can't hurt to email disaster customer service at SBA.gov. On our app today, we have an example email you can use. You can click a button and send it off to the SBA. Finally, more grants are up on the app and blog. If you are a Skip Plus member, you can start a free trial at helloskip.com/membership. Use the link right below. Just want to share a couple things here. $2,500 grant for women and people of color, $50,000 Venture Winston grants, $4,000 small business grants, $10,000 grants for Native American-led organizations, $500 grants, $2,000 grants. If you want to see all these grants, it's completely worth it. We are confident you will find something that works for you, whether it's this week, this month, next month, you will find something. It will be completely worth it. Again, this was just put up earlier today, so it's fresh. You can get a jump start on it. Tomorrow we have more economic news coming, including the good news on jobless claims and a quick stock recap as well. Speaking of jobs, I haven't mentioned this on any of our videos, so this is the first time. But you know, at Skip, we have tens of thousands of independent contractors around the U.S. helping people with government services. That includes helping people with their road test, helping people with passport renewals, helping people with line waiting, especially at the DMV. Again, virtually in every state we have these, and demand is picking up. Summer is always the busiest time for these services. People need to take a road test. They need someone to go with them, to check in with them, give them peace of mind. Same thing with passport renewals, same thing with line waiting. People don't want to spend 3 hours, 4 hours in line. So if you want, you can apply to become a Skip concierge, and even if we don't have availability yet in your area, we will contact you as soon as we do. But we are doing this in nearly every single state. Earn great money by helping people navigate their road tests, skip the line at the DMV, renew their passports, and more. You'll be someone's hero while making $20 to $40 per hour on average. You can read about it at helloskip.com/become-a-concierge. Link right below. Again, become-a-concierge. You can see some of the reviews, watch a video on how the road test concierge works, read some of the testimonials, and apply in about 30 seconds. Especially if you've done other independent contractor work, Uber, Lyft, Postmates, etc. Most of the concierges with Skip now across the country have some independent contractor customer service experience, but it's not required if you like helping people and want to make a difference. You know, most people remember who they went with when they passed their driving test in the US. It's a memorable moment, so it's a big impact, and you can always see your options on the app and plan out. You see something available next week or the week after. So that's the plug if you're looking for work or extra income, a few $100s more per week. That's today's important update. Thanks so much for subscribing, supporting us, and liking this video. Leave a comment. We'd love to hear what you think about the EIDL loan and grant news. Most importantly, stay well, stay healthy, and I'll see you tomorrow.